Hey moms, last week I didn't feel like trying. I didn't feel like planning, resetting, or pretend like I had it all together. And normally that's when people disappear. And I know someone can relate to that. And it was just a lot. It was a big high energy week. It was definitely a lot. In the past, I would either push harder or completely check out. And these days, it's just kind of like I'm shot on the fence, but we both know that both paths lead to burnout. And I would always ask myself, like, how can I get back on track? And this time, that question, I didn't even want to ask myself that question because I just felt like I don't even care about the question. I didn't even care to ask myself that question. I just didn't. So I sat in my car for a little bit of time and I asked myself, what is the smallest way I can support myself today? Because I just needed to get through it that day. Like last week, it just like one particular day was just too much for me, and I needed to get through it. And I know we have those days, moms, where we have that one day. I don't know if anyone's like me to where we just take and take and take and we just break. I definitely had that day last week where I took so much in after a while, and I finally just broke last week, and I needed to just pick myself back up. And that question did it for me. So for the situation that broke the mold for me, I had to really think about that. So to support myself in the smallest way, I had to lower my expectations. That was a definite thing for me that I had to do because looking at the situation, I can't expect people to think, act, and feel the same way that I'm feeling. I think those are the things that we often forget about when things aren't working out. And I also kept one anchor habit, and that was remembering that I can't control every situation, what everybody says or do. I can only control how I react and what I say and what I do, and leave it at that. At that point, whatever happens, happens. And that's the best you can do from there. And lastly, I rested without guilt because a lot of times I always replay situations back in my head. How can I fix? How can I do? Or this is right. And I always think about, I always think how something can be better in the heat of that moment, depending on the severity of it from time to time. And for that specific situation, I let it go because I remember in that one anchor habit, hey, I can't control it. I can't do anything further. I did what I needed to do and it's time to move on. I had to remind myself this wasn't a lazy week. This was something that I needed to reset to make sure I stay on track and I don't change my habits based on the fact of a situation might throw me or a person's behavior might throw me. I need to not forget who I am. And that's key in a lot of situations. I think that we often forget. The goal is to be a better person every single day, the best that we can be, instead of going backwards. And that is my goal. The key is for me to be a better person as much as I can, regardless of what anyone else says or do. I had to realize this wasn't a lazy week, this was a maintenance week, and realizing that regardless of whether situations happen or somebody's actions may have caused me to shift a little bit, I had to recenter myself to remember who I was and not allow those situations or that person or people to change who I am and continue trying to be a better person who I need to be for those around me and to support others, including myself. And remember that maintenance weeks don't move you forward, they keep you from falling backwards. So that's how I approach that situation in trying to keep myself to remember that regardless of a situation or a person or a group of people, whatever the situation may be, may make you feel like you might have felt backward or fell short. You don't let it make you forget who you are and what you came to do. You stay in check and trying to keep doing what you need to do to keep moving forward. On weeks like this, I do a gentle reset, which I've linked below for your review. And then if I need to even recenter myself and try to remember what I'm trying to balance, I'll even go back and try to see everything I'm trying to balance and work on my work life balance as well. The goal is to remember to do less, but don't disappear on yourself, moms. Regardless of how bad it may get or feel, remember to show up. You got this, moms. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am right here with you, and I hope this video was helpful for you. And I will see you next time, moms. Bye.